Highway from Massachusetts, Mr. Lynch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me congratulate the chairman and the ranking member for their new responsibilities. And I want to thank the witnesses for their willing to help the committee with its work. Mr. Salisbury and Ms. Sabatino, I, along with Mr. LaTurner and other members on this committee, have gone to the border many, many times, as well as to Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, to try to figure out and better understand the push factors and the influence of cartels on what's happening on the border. Because as you've said, Ms. Sabatino, that, we don't want to be confronting this at our border. We would like to act behind those countries that are from which a lot of these migrants are coming from. In the past, we've had a good cooperative relationship with those countries, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador. Is that still the case today? I know that in the past we've had a special task force in the Guatemalan highlands, which was somewhat of a less governed area, and we had a good special forces team there working in that area on drug interdiction and keeping tabs on the cartels. Is that still going on, or is that?
So yes, HSI maintains great relationships in all those countries. We certainly look to develop relationships through the State Department post and host country. We also develop vetted units with the foreign law enforcement officials in order to further our cases. So yes, all those relationships continue to be robust. They're constantly developing, and we're constantly looking at better ways to partner with our foreign partners.
Okay.
I think with respect to CBP, certainly we support capacity building efforts in a number of different countries, including in South and Central America. We also have deployments of individuals through our container security initiative, in key port locations where they support operations and get to see shipments before they come to the United States.
Let me follow up on that. Commissioner Sabatino, you previously testified that nearly 14 million cargo containers arrive at our land ports of entry every year, and those containers are in addition to the millions of pedestrian and passenger vehicles that cross into the United States on an annual basis. Our security at the southern border depends on the resources that we are willing to dedicate to our ports and to your men and women. To this end, I in the past have supported the omnibus appropriations bill that was enacted under the previous administration, providing $6.4 billion for Customs and Border Patrol security operations. That was a 24% increase of from the previous year. So given the millions of inspections that CBP generally conducts, it is critical that they optimize their resources to both facilitate commerce and bolster border security. Commissioner, how would additional funding for technology investments that have been raised earlier in the hearing increase the number of vehicles that CBP's Office of Field Operations can scan for drugs or other contraband?
Thank you for the question. Certainly our non-intrusive inspection technology. In 2019, we received $564 million, for technology to deploy to the southwest border to increase scan rates. As I mentioned, POVs from 1 to 2%. To about 40%, and commercial vehicles from about 15 to 17% to about 70%. Additional investments in NII, certainly and we greatly appreciate what was given to us in fiscal year 23, $177 million for ONS, 15 million, just over 15 million for outbound, 10 million for the development of artificial intelligence and machine learning, which is also going to be critical as those scan rates and the number of scans that we do goes up. We're going to need, we're not going to be able to staff that with officers. We wouldn't have a footprint to get everyone in the room to look at those and adjudicate those scans. So that's going to be critical work for us over the next year. And we did receive about $45 million for deployment, civil works, the installation of that technology over the upcoming fiscal year, and another $18 million for the technology that's going into the Gordie Howe Bridge on the northern border.
Okay. My time has just about expired. Thank you both for your good work. Thank you for your willingness to come before the committee and help us with our work. Thank you. I yield back.